So, what should Uber do? We are proposing that they start focusing on the customer service aspect of their ride sharing versus any other type of aspect from their drivers. Right now, we need to focus on what job consumers hire Uber to do. The most obvious answer should be to provide a way to travel from one destination to another, an alternate means to either walking or biking or public transport. When they are trying to find out how to get from one destination to another using the ride sharing companies like Lyft or Uber, one of the main factors that make them choose that is how quickly they can receive that transportation. How quickly is their driver to being able to come pick them up and get them to their location quickly? The other factor on what they choose versus Uber or Lyft is how cost effective is it. Both of the apps should tell you about an approximate range on how much it would be to get from point A to point B. Between these two different factors, how quickly they can get them and how cost effective it's going to be, that is those main determining factors on what makes a consumer pick Uber versus Lyft. Another reason why people are even using ride sharings is they may not have the means to do the transportation themselves. They may not have a driver's license. They may not be in a state of mind to drive themselves. This isn't really going to be a factor on what they choose versus the two competitors. So I'm not going to really focus about that, but I did think that it was worth mentioning that that's a job on why consumers are hiring Uber and Lyft to do the ride sharing with. So, how are we going to make Uber stand out from Lyft to make a differentiation happen between the two services? They do provide very similar services. There really isn't too much in leeway of why people pick one or another. Hence, why they have no brand loyalty. Whenever a person sees, hey, this driver is this far away from me, I'm just going to pick them. There's no like, oh, I love Uber. This is what I want to do. Right now, Uber's already trying to compete with Lyft, and they're already hurting their main profitable line because they're taking less money on each ride share just to compete with Lyft. So, what we are proposing is that since they have similar services, we provide those consumers with different experiences, not just a ride. What we are trying to have them do is implement a customer focused strategy to where customer service is key during that ride share. Uber already has everything that they need to really put them above on Lyft. They just don't have anything to differentiate their product from Lyft. What we are thinking of doing or advising Uber to do is to create an employee video training and mandatory tests, random tests that they do need to do to continue to drive or begin to drive for Uber. This video training would be manufactured by Uber, and it would let them know what they need to do to provide superior customer service. The second part after the retraining of the drivers is to incentivize the drivers to begin really implementing that good customer service strategy. The incentivizing would require Uber to restructure their payout structure for their drivers. For an example, let's say a rider rates a drive 5 stars. Instead of Uber taking just a flat rate on that drive like they currently do, they will take less of that share. That incentivizes drivers to then create better customer service, which creates good brand loyalty. Alternatively, if a rider creates and rates a drive 1 star, Uber will take more of that. Not necessarily as a penalization, but a de-incentive to not create good customer service. This is more cost effective since it's just retraining versus laying off some of their employees. So right now, they should be focusing on retraining and trying to differentiate their drivers from Lyft drivers, since they do create the same service between the two, and then incentivize those drivers for the best of the best to always perform at their top and to create brand loyalty.